You know the sound, right? If you've ever watched a game, I mean, any game, you know that voice. That super fast paced, kind of strange, but totally captivating voice of the sports commentator. It's a sound that's just instantly recognizable. It's the soundtrack to all the action on the field.
But have you ever, really stopped to listen to what they're saying? Or more importantly, how they're saying it? It's not just you. There is a reason they all sound so similar. And honestly, it's one of the most fascinating little corners of linguistics. You hear stuff like this all the time. In comes Gory. Grammatically, that's a little backward, isn't it? You'd totally expect to hear Gory comes in. So what is going on here? Why does this weird phrasing feel so completely normal when we're watching a game? Well, this isn't just some random, quirky habit. It's actually a highly specialized way of communicating, and it's built for speed, for drama, and for clarity. To really get it, we need to unlock one key idea. And that key is a linguistic term called register. I promise, once you understand what a register is, the entire world of sports commentary, and honestly a lot of other ways people talk, is going to suddenly make perfect sense. So what is it? Well, to put it simply, a register is just a specific variety of language that we all use for a particular purpose or in a very specific situation. It's not about where you're from, it's all about what you're doing. Now, you might be thinking, hold on, isn't that just jargon or maybe style? And well, not quite. See, jargon is just the specific vocabulary, like silly mid-on and cricket. Style is more about how formal or informal you are. But register, that's the whole shebang. It's the entire system. The vocabulary, the grammar, the sentence structure, the whole package that a group uses in a certain context. Okay, so with our new tool, this idea of a register, let's go back and really dissect that unique sports commentator talk. We can actually break it down into a few key features. The first one, and probably the one you hear the most, is something called syntactic reduction. Now that sounds super complicated, but it's really all about making things simpler and faster. For example, a baseball commentator might just yell, "A breaking ball outside." You can feel it, right? There's definitely something missing from that sentence. But in the heat of the moment, you know exactly what they mean. What's missing is the obvious stuff, the subject and the verb. In this case, it's. Commentators just drop these words because they're totally predictable. Why waste precious milliseconds on words that everyone already knows are supposed to be there? It creates this kind of telegraphic style that keeps the commentary moving just as fast as the action itself. All right, now for the second feature, syntactic inversion. This is where commentators flip the normal word order of a sentence upside down. Remember that in comes Gariri thing from the beginning? This is the grammar trick that makes it happen. So instead of saying Big Dave Winfield is on deck, a commentator will say on deck is Big Dave Winfield. But why? Why do they do that? Well, this inversion puts the action on deck first. It builds this tiny little moment of suspense before they reveal the most important piece of info, the player. It's a small change, but it adds a huge amount of drama. And finally, there's a feature called heavy noun modification. This is what commentators do to fill those quiet moments, the pauses between plays, with tons of rich, dense information. What they do is take a simple subject, like a player's name, and just pack it with descriptions, stats, and backstory. It's incredibly efficient. In one single breath, they're not just telling you who the player is, they're telling you his story, his stats, and all the pressure he's under. It keeps you, the listener, totally engaged even when the action on the field has stopped. So here's the most important part. This isn't just about sports. Once you start listening for registers, you'll realize they are absolutely everywhere. And in fact, you are an expert at using them yourself, probably without even realizing it. I mean, just think about how you text. See you later versus see you soon XX. You instinctively know which one of those to send to your boss and which one to send to your best friend, right? You're switching registers. You're adapting your language to the social situation without even thinking about it. And this is happening all over the place. Airline pilots use a very specific register for clarity and safety. Auctioneers use one designed for pure speed. Lawyers have legalese. And even parents who are talking to their babies are using a distinct register we often call baby talk. Every single one is perfectly designed for its own special context. So that leaves us with one final question. Think about it. The way you talk to your colleagues, the way you write an email, the way you talk to your pet. These are all different registers. The secret language of sports commentators, it turns out,
isn't so secret after all. It's just one really cool example of a tool we all use to navigate our world. So, what's a register you're using every day without even knowing it? Once you start noticing, I guarantee you'll never hear language the same way again.